on Citi Prime News, which is live on all affiliate stations across the country in the Western region. This is Premier 100.5 FM in Takrady and Beach 105.5 FM also in Takrady. In the Bunu region, this is Green at 95.9 FM Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we are live on Orange 107.9 FM Kumasi. In the Volta region, this is Akwini Radio 96.7 megahertz in Pando. Heritage 107.3 FM Hohoi. Northern region, this is Dasuma 99.1 FM Yendi. Upper East, this is Word 88.3 FM Zwarungu. In the Upper West region, we are live on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. And in the Northeast region, this is Eagle 94.1 FM.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Let's settle for the details of our stories now. And a security man at the Total 5 fuel station located opposite the All Nations University main campus in Koforidua in the eastern region has been shot dead by armed robbers. The 5 armed men attacked the fuel station yesterday while it was raining. They entered the mart and confronted the security man. The security man, Kwesi Agbeti, popularly known as Killer, decided to seek shelter away from the mart, and he was shot at close range by 3 other armed men who were outside. Personnel of the Ghana Police Service and men from the National Investigation Bureau were at the scene to begin their investigations when the news team got to the scene this morning. Here is an eyewitness narrating exactly what happened.
Around 6:43, we came to buy some stuff from the supermarket, and then we were paying. When we were paying, they just two boys entered with nose masks and a cap. They entered and asked us to. They shouted, "Hey, all of you!" But there was one guy, the security man. He came out and then he tried to confront them. So he came close to them. They were having a confrontation. They used a stick to hit his head. So then we ran away to hide. We followed the sales girl to hide in the washroom. We went to hide, and then they came out. So what happened outside, we don't know. We just stayed there for some time. We heard gunshot, po. But I left my car and my sleeping child in the car. So when we came, they were awakened and they are taking my car with the guy. So we went to the hospital and the guy died. I died in my car. The attendant here, he took my car. Yeah. It wasn't an easy because I was with my child, a 6-year-old, and then we had to run for our lives. It was a terrible experience. Very, very terrible. My child couldn't sleep the whole night. He kept waking up and then he would say, "Mommy, let's go. Mommy, let's go," throughout the night. It's just terrible. I think there's no camera here. I don't know if there's a camera working here because there was no police around. Nobody came to our rescue. There's no camera inside. Nothing. So it was just nobody to help us. I don't know but there's a police barrier around here and there are other people around here. Nobody came to our rescue. Nobody tried to even call the police to come and help us. We're just there till they finished whatever they wanted to do and then they left. So if the police could be around, patrolling around here, right from here to you get to Akwadum, there's no street lights, nothing.
You heard an eyewitness to a robbery incident at Koforidua in the eastern region there. Now, joining us with more is our eastern regional correspondent, Neil Ni Amate Kanako. Neil, thank you for joining us. Paint a picture for us in terms of the exact location for those who do not know Koforidua, and let us know the mood of the people there, because we understand this is the third in 3 weeks of such an incident.
Yeah, good afternoon, Caleb. Exactly so. Now, this particular incident happened at Total 5, that is on the main Koforidua to Sum stretch on the Akwadum Road. Now, this particular fuel station is located just opposite the main campus of the All Nations University in Koforidua. Now, the incident happened around 6:45 yesterday whilst it was raining. Now, according to some eyewitnesses, these 5 armed young men were seen jogging in that particular enclave. And around that time, they just entered. 2 of them who were holding sticks in their arms just went straight to the mat where they ordered the people to bring out their money. So the security man, popularly known as Killer in the neighborhood, confronted them, asking them why they were inside the mat, because he didn't see them with arms, but he just saw them with sticks. And then when he went close, they struck him on the head, and then he decided to seek shelter. So on his way out, then he met the three armed guys who were outside the facility, and then they shot him at close range to his neck. So the loop attendant who was upstairs on seeing it also decided to seek shelter, and then also make some phone calls with regards to getting some security, that is the police, to intervene. Now, a young lady who had visited the mat with her 6-year-old baby were really traumatized, and then they also had to lie on the ground and then also seek shelter in that particular area. Now, this morning when we visited the area, you could see some stains, that is blood stains, from the security personnel who was shot, and then the attendant, that is the supervisor at the facility, was also shot in that process. Now, they took away some undisclosed amount of money before they went ahead to attack a fuel tanker driver who had also visited the scene to offload his goods, and then they also took away his mobile phone and then 1,000 Ghana cedis from the tanker driver. Now, Caleb, the mood is a sad one, because during our visit, we saw family members of the late killer, that is the security guy who was shot dead there. Now, their plea is for the IGP to assist this man with regards to investigation and also get them justice.
Neil, now the eyewitness you earlier spoke to mentioned that the crime scene is quite close to a police barrier. What has been police action when there was a distress call? What was the response like?
So they unfortunately, when the police got to the place, the suspect, that is the criminals, were nowhere to be found. Now, it's not really too far from that side, because when on that stretch from where the incident occurred to the Akwadum police barrier, it's just like some 4 minutes drive away, and also about 5 minutes drive away from the main Efigase township. So that's not an obscured area or a place which is really far from town. Now, the main thing is, this is a facility which is very close to a university. We have several students using that particular stretch on a daily basis. And this incident alone is the third in 2 weeks in the region that we are experiencing a brutal robbery of this magnitude. Last 2 weeks, we had 2 stations, that is a gas station and a fuel station in the Somenya, that is Ogome area, being attacked, with several people sustaining gunshots wounds to them as a result of these attacks by armed men. And residents in the region are particularly worried about the level of insecurity currently in the region with regards to how robbers are operating day and night.
And finally, Neil, your eyewitness mentioned that there are no CCTV cameras in the Total 5 fuel station. Can you confirm that?
Yes. An attendant we spoke to also indicated that since he started working at the facility, he's not seen the CCTV camera working, which it was quite an unfortunate one, because the person who came there to begin their investigations asked one of the attendants about it, and then the person indicated that he's not seeing the CCTV camera working ever since he started working there.
Very well. Neil Ni Amate Kanaku is our Eastern Regional Correspondent. We'll stay on security. This time we go to South Africa.
No, Caleb, let's go to Talensi before South Africa, because the chief executive, district chief executive of Talensi, Thomas Duanabuni, has expressed deep concern over the escalating wave of robbery attacks within the district. These robbery incidents have been on the rise in the district, he says, especially in mining areas, instilling fear among residents. He points out that the District Assembly Security Council, that's a DISEC, is struggling to combat criminal activities due to a shortage of security personnel and necessary equipment. Speaking to City News, Mr. Wuni emphasized that the district lacks an adequate number of police personnel to maintain a 24-hour patrol in the area.
The fact of the matter is that it's a mining area and we do not have enough good roads around getting in and getting out. So criminals take advantage of the nature of the road and mostly towards the evenings rob people who are mostly coming back after having gone to work. So it has been rampant and it's very scary. Sometimes they kill and they have killed a police officer the day before and we want to improve upon the security of the area. So we're in talks with the police high command and at least for the past 1 month have increased some roadblocks and patrols. But we still lack the men and we are still pleading with the police command to see if they could beef up the numbers. And then we could have patrol vehicles to patrol throughout the night in the area. We are facing a lot of challenges, but of course we would make up to at least provide top-level security that will reduce the robberies, especially the killing. But the roads are too many.
You heard the District Chief Executive of Talensi, Thomas Duanab Wuni. Now let's go to South Africa because the security analyst, Dr. Ishmael Norman, is calling on Christians and churches to take a more realistic approach in dealing with security of their members. His comments come after the robbery attack on the Church of Pentecost in South Africa on Sunday, October 29, 2023, which resulted in the kidnapping of a deacon of the church. Ghana's High Commission in Pretoria says it is working to ensure the speedy release of the victim. On speaking to City News on the development, Dr. Ishmael Norman said churches must begin to put in place security installations to forestall a future occurrence.
Churches look at security from a very unrealistic point of view. Churches in Ghana, South Africa, everywhere in Africa, and sometimes in the world, because they think that God is going to protect them. And because of that, they don't pay for good security in most churches. They don't even want to go through any basic training, and the pastors are constantly not paying attention to who is coming into their church houses, so long as they are expecting money from such people. So it's really a reckless behavior on the part of pastors, general overseers, and executive pastors of most churches in the world. And for me, I think it is very elementary to rely on God when people are actually, they know there is God, but they can come into a church house with a gun and come and rob you and take you as hostage. So there's a lot they need to learn, and they have to give what is to Caesar, which is security on this earth, and then to God, what is to God, and that is security in heaven.
So you had a security expert, Dr. Ishmael Norman.
Education think tank Africa Education Watch is calling on the Education Ministry to speed up the process of implementing an education in emergency plan for areas affected by the Akosombo Dam spillage. Many schools have been flooded and others used as a safe haven for affected residents. The situation has left many children in basic schools stranded and out of school for weeks. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show, the Executive Director of African Education Watch, Kofi Asare, said government must immediately deploy education aid to deal with the crisis.
So I think that we've got beyond ideation because it's just about the institutional accountability. The Center for National Distance Learning Local School is telling us it's another agency under the Ministry of Education that receives a lot of investment in virtual learning systems. They have developed even virtual labs where you can have 3D lab sessions, on the projector. I mean, they have all the modern technologies you can think of when it comes to virtual learning. So Federals also have the capacity to deploy. They have what they call the BTEC. It's also a virtual lab for STEM education in schools where there are no physical laboratories advanced as the STEM schools, so that they can also participate in STEM and all that. So Federals, they also have the capacity to deploy to this area and support in virtual learning. My challenge is that the system that should coordinate the deployment is what is not working. Because if you don't have an education in emergency class detailing the role of agency A, agency B, agency C, including the National Assembly, in deploying education aid in times of any crisis situation, then it becomes a problem who to lead, who to coordinate, who to support. It becomes a problem because it is actually a system where everyone plays their part. And so if A plays their part and B is not welcoming, then you actually don't have a system. That is a challenge we have with the absence of a fully operationalized education in the emergency plan.
Executive Director of African Education Watch, Kofi Asare, now the Chief Executive Officer of the Center for National Distance Learning and Open Schooling, Nana Jemfi Adrabo, also speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, said they are in discussions with the Education Ministry and are in the process of providing a solution to the affected areas.
The Honorable Minister called an emergency meeting, which Senlos was part of it. And actually, we went to the districts and the localities that were affected to do the assessment. So we have been a part and parcel of all this discussion, and we have a possible solutions for all the affected areas at the region.
What specifically are you doing to help these communities?
Very good. Senlos, we are in charge of ICT in education, that is distance learning. And already we have a lot of solutions that we have dispatched in most of our localities to leverage on that to study, especially to deepen the SDG 4 agenda that talks about equity, access, and quality in education. So, for instance, we have one of our iBox, which is intelligent box system. It's an offline learning management system, so you don't need anything connectivity like MTN service or anything. All you need is electricity. So currently we have one of the box in St. Kizito, which is in Bipe, in the district that they are leveraging on it to study. We put local content, GES approved content on that device for them to study. So that is one of the critical intervention we are looking to send to those districts so they can also have equity in education, especially.
Chief Executive Officer of the Center for National Distance Learning and Open Schooling, Nana Jemfi Adrabo. Now, the District Chief Executive for North Tong, Divine Panu, is urging persons displaced by the flooding occasioned by the spillage of the Akosombo Dam not to return to their homes yet, although the flood waters are receding. The Volta River Authority, in a release on October 30, 2023, announced an end to the spillage, which commenced on September 15. Speaking to City News during a fumigation exercise by Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, the DCE cautioned residents not to return to their homes yet, citing possible disease outbreaks and the need for a structural integrity assessment of affected buildings.
The water has receded considerably, and many of the houses are beginning to dry, and people understand that we pick rumors, people are trying to move back to their houses. And so we have continued education and advising that they remain where they are currently for the necessary measures we put in place before they move back to their houses. One is that we know that the places have been contaminated and there needs de-infection and decontamination. And then there need to be some structural engineering assessment. So we see that the integrity of those buildings, they want to move back to are not compromised. So we need that engineers to go to the field to check those houses. Once the disinfection has taken place, it's taking place now.
That was Divine Panu. He is the District Chief Executive for North Tong. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. I am Caleb Kuda here with Ajua Tinkrama Domina. Still ahead, we take you to Babanao Copper in the Ketu South municipality of the Volta region, where bereaved families are compelled to bury their dead at home as community cemeteries there flood.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Thank you for staying with us to some other stories now. And the management of Zoom Lion Ghana Limited has rejected claims it was contracted by the Volta River Authority VRA to conduct fumigation activities in areas affected by the Akosombo Dam spillage. Reports suggested that Zoom Lion had been contracted to fumigate the lower Volta areas. However, in a statement, the management of Zoom Lion described the reports as misleading and unfounded. On October 30, the VRA initiated a disinfection and fumigation exercise in communities affected by the spillage. The disinfection exercise began in Mapa in the North Tong district of the Volta region, given its high concentration of affected people. Zoom Lion has, however, reassured the public of its commitment to providing steadfast support to the communities in the Volta region.
We'll stay with the Akosombo Dam spillage as bereaved families of Babanao Kope village in Agbozome in the Ketu South municipality have been compelled to bury their dead in their homes. This is because the community cemetery has been flooded. Floods have inundated the community for more than 3 months, disrupting teaching and learning, commerce, and now burial. Citi News' Caleb Kuda captures the struggles of the living and the dead as a result of the floods in this report.
Are we on a river or what?
No, this is the flood water that we are on. So all these places were actually a dry ground that people actually walk to their school here. So you can see that we are getting closer to a school here. So because of the flooding, all these places are flooded.
How long has this been?
I think they started somewhere May.
It's been 5 months since floods consumed major parts of Babanao Kopa in Agbozuma North in the Ketu South municipality, and life has not been the same for residents. We are in distress, happy, Bedega tells me. She's returning from a funeral, and she recounts how the dead body in the casket had to be offloaded onto 2 different canoes on parts of what used to be a road, but has now been flooded. The sick have not had it any easier, she shares. Some of the bereaved families who came to bury their loved ones could not actually have access to the cemeteries because the cemeteries are flooded. Is that correct?
Yes, the cemeteries are very flooded.
Tell us your name first of all.
My name is King George. I work with a local radio station in Akachi. But I'm basically here today because a friend of mine is actually burying his uncle today. So we need to follow him and come and then actually help him in the burial. So here we are today.
So what did you see when you came? Where was the dead buried?
Yeah, when we came, we learned the local cemetery is flooded, very flooded. Some of the graves are even up in the water, so the person cannot be buried there. So they need to dig a grave in the house, somewhere close to the house, on a bit of high ground where the person can be buried for now.
I look in the distance to my left, and under this coconut plantation is a cemetery. I see tombs, but some of them are covered with the flooded water, telling you just the extent of which the flooding has impacted the Agbozuma Babanao community. Not only the living are paying the price for this flooding situation that has persisted for 5 months, but even the dead are paying a price for it.
It's difficult. When you are sick, there is no route to pass you to hospital. Especially those who are burying their loved ones. The ambulance take them to a place. Sometimes they use a truck, carry the person to a stage. Another stage, they have to gather people to carry them or put in car. They put the dead body or the corpse in. They put it in canoe before they get to their last destination. So at times they have to transfer 3 times. Look, this is a cemetery. It has flooded with water. Today they are burying somebody here. They have to find a place behind the house and do that. And the water is mixing with the dead bodies. And over here we depend on the well water. So look at the contamination of water my people are taking.
I'm Maupomo Kofi Folivi, Assembly Member for Agbojme North, and also the Council Chairman for the 10 electoral areas in Somavego.
I asked him what the local leadership has done about the flooding situation in the last 5 months.
Since the flooding started, we contacted the office and they came to take data. After taking the data, they started sharing items at some places. So he said the items got finished. Then I said, okay, fine. Maybe if he has the opportunity of getting another item another day, he should also try to sort us out. In July, he called me and said he has some items. That's Wellington boots that I wanted to give it to my community, Suklaji, and also Zongo, 10, 10, 10, with a plastic bowl, 10, and rubber cup, 10. And I said, okay, that is okay. If we get that, that will be okay. But the fact is, those items may not reach the people that are affected. So we'll be looking at getting other items. If it is much, then we actually use it to augment what we will have and share to the people. We were fortunate enough to have a donation from Ghana Gas and the MP. When I called him and I visited him in the office to say, okay, now I got some items. I want the items that he promised to give us. That's the boot and the plastic bowls and cup. He got angry and said because Ghana Gas brought the donation, they didn't bring it through his office, and also the MP didn't bring the donation through his office, so he will not give us the items.
Togbiga Adama Atolia, Paramount Chief of Somo, has mobilized his people to dredge canals in an attempt to minimize the impact of the flooding. He tells me he had no choice as all calls on local authorities to intervene proved futile.
As yesterday evening, I had call from people in that surrounding area they work that all the water launching in their farms and coconut and the coconut trees, all of them has reduced. Right. They can even see barely the land, not the water again.
I see even the water level through the canal and it's moving. Yes. What has been the role of the local government, municipal, district in all this? Because I understand this has been happening since May this year.
Yeah. I'm not going to shy away from the facts. Since this thing happened, I informed them. None of my local government officials has even visited us to ask us the situation and what we can do. And upon all our call to all the government agencies, none have come to our aid. That forced me to do what I'm doing by the strength of the traditional council.
How much is it costing to construct this canal?
The cost is bear by 7 Seas Company, who are mining salt over here. I've spoken to them. This is the crisis we have, and they are able to come to our aid to do this work.
Do your people need any relief, or they are okay?
we need it. My people need it because the overflow of the water which has scattered the communities has cut off our major roads. So many people cannot come to the business, which is the marketplace, to trade. That's why the aging ones. If you want to move from your house today, some of the citizens were telling me, if you want to move to buy things of 10 cedis in the roadside, you have to spend 50 cedis, 40 cedis for transportation, than what you are coming to buy for 10 cedis. And it's difficult when you are sick. There is no route to pass you to hospital.
The youth, who have dedicated their time to assist stranded commuters via canoe for a fee of 1 Ghana cedi, are disappointed in the local government authorities. The only time I saw this area flood was during my childhood. The floods have entered my veranda and rooms of others who don't have verandas. It's scary because there are venomous snakes in the water and they could bite anyone. Our elderly parents cannot go out.
Mi amokpom ba ale wowe achie na avola fie goji mia nyama mo na no ndadie mia no sosoma mi mokponu ba onu nanama la nya tepa tutuma ajeje nkoto ko ba nyama ndomi mo ye wo taflachi akuforo government.
We are looking forward to the government to come to our aid. We have heard they want to redirect the flood. We are anticipating that. It is becoming clear that successive governments have abandoned us here in Agbozuma. We have prominent citizens, but they don't care about us. As youth, we have volunteered to ferry stranded passengers for 1 Ghana cedi. Imagine what would have happened if we weren't doing this. So we are waiting for the politicians. When they finally come here, we know what to tell them.
Fine, milen kuda nyen kwa ba nanya ba nyama jirudu akleto ro mi egbo pomare nyi eto la fie gujare mi ati mi rego ta bi fie mi so ge vi mi ma nkuma ko mi mo pona akodala okleto ba no du ma toro gare mi gie anya la mi hye mi aglunu la nya tepa tutuma mi ma garu ba nya ga da ko no so ton.
We are moving across the water once again, and the people are not in life jackets. In fact, neither am I. I didn't anticipate this. And it's scary as the man paddling it with this long stick keeps moving from one side to the other. If this capsizes, we are in trouble. And I see 3 elderly women returning from a funeral, and they've had to sit up tight and upright because anything happens and we are in trouble. You can see another canoe there coming. And this one has more young people, and they're all crossing this. You're all using life jackets. This, I understand, has been the situation for the last 4 months. So at least some preparations should have gone on. Some life jackets supplied or bought so that your commute will be safe.
No, as at now, nobody has come to our aid to provide us with any life jackets.
Especially because the residents here tell us that there are snakes in this water body. It's extremely important for some speedboats, some life jacket, and for the water to be, the land to be reclaimed as soon as possible, because it's scary just riding on this 3-minute thing has been a scare of a lifetime, and it's critical that the government moves in swiftly to address the concerns of residents of Babanao in Agbozuma, Ketu South, municipality of the Volta region. For City News, I am Caleb Kuda. Now, donations keep pouring in towards Citi FM and Citi TV's relief campaign for residents affected by the spillage in the lower Volta Basin. The campaign, which was launched earlier this month, has witnessed massive contributions from organizations and individuals. On the Citi Breakfast Show today, MTN Foundation donated items worth 300,000 Ghana cedis towards the campaign for the affected communities.
The MTN Foundation has sent in a massive donation, including 200 bags of rice, 85 gallons of cooking oil, 85 boxes of tomato paste, 60 boxes of canned mackerel, 50 bags of washing powder, 50 boxes of bar soaps, 100 mattresses, 50 blankets, and 80 buckets. And these are to go to the support of the Citi FM relief for Lower Volta Basin. And the relief items are to the tune of 300,000 cedis. 300,000 cedis.
Now, the 1988-year group of the Presbyterian Boys School Presec has also contributed 28,000 cedis to support the media organization's effort at bringing relief to the affected residents.
I have 3 members of the Presec 88-year group, Alan Kwe, Victor Agbeshi, and Jeff Barr, joining me to bring us some support.
Making a cash donation of 28,000.
28,000 cedis. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. This is just the 88-year group.
This is just the 88.
28,000 cedis.
No.
Where's my bell? Wow. The 1988-year group of Presecans have brought 28,000 cedis to support our Lower Volta relief efforts. We are so grateful. Wow.
And as a body, we thought it wise that we should also contribute to the great efforts that Citi is making, improving the lives of those who have been severely affected. So we came together as a group and put some money together. And of course, today being the day after our victory, we thought it pleasant and proper.
You mean you coincided the donation with the victory?
By His grace.
And 88 and 8.
Yes. And so our donation also has an 8 in it.
Oh, super.
Great. So then we thought it proper that we should come today, this morning, and have it done.
Wonderful.
So that at least we would also be contributing to the good works that others are doing.
Wonderful.
As individuals and as a group.
Now, a crop nutrition solution company, Yara, has also contributed to the campaign with 50,000 in addition to food items.
This has been something that has shocked the entire Yara business. Obviously, we have a lot of farmers in the Volta region. Yara's vision is especially about having a collaborative society, a world without hunger, and a planet respected.
Okay.
So this is something that then energized us as a group and as a society here in Ghana. So all our employees have actually contributed with, as the monies that they've brought in, we've actually decided that, yes, we will support the Volta region.
Wow.
We specifically actually even bought from Yara farms,
Is
Yara
it?
farmers in the Pandai district,
Wow.
northern region. So we're sending yams.
You're sending yams?
Yes, we're sending yams
my.
down.
Wow.
With the monies collected from all our employees. In addition, others have also brought other items in kind, clothing, etc.
Wow.
And then we're also adding a corporate gift of 50,000.
You are missing it. Where's the bell? 50,000. You're missing it. Like, wow. So you got yams from your farmers in Pandai that you are transporting down. You mobilized money from your staff. You brought some clothes, and then you added 50,000 on top of it. Wow.
That was Barbara Hamfiakuma. She is the human resource manager for a crop nutrition solution company, Yara.
A Child Rights International non-governmental organization has also dedicated child rights and protection and pledged its commitment to assist the children in communities affected by the Akosombo Dam spillage. This announcement was made during a press conference today. Speaking to Citi News, the Executive Director of Child Rights International, Bright Appiah, stated that the organization would provide the affected children with textbooks, exercise books, uniforms, and sanitary pads to support them as they may have lost their belongings as a result of the spillage.
1,000 of the children could not retrieve any of the items during the evacuation. So because of that, they don't have any even access to their own notebooks and other to even learn. So we are providing them with the textbook, notebooks, and then also exercise books so that they can return back to the classroom. And if possible, we can also look at the uniforms and the bags. Then there are another issue that we also detected has to do with the girls who need sanitary towels to be able to take care of themselves. And I think that immediately we're going to do that for children who live in the safe havens so that they can have access to these materials.
Bright Appiah is Executive Director of Child Rights International.
Now, you can also support the Citi FM Citi TV relief campaign for residents of Lower Volta by sending your donations to 0550 900 006 0550 900 006. Your reference is relief or flood support. Now, the majority in Parliament has announced plans to summon the Volta River Authority VRA before the House on a spillage of excess water from the Akosombo Dam. Addressing the media, Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu outlined the need for the VRA to update the House on the matter.
On my own part, some of our own colleagues, because it's exacted considerable toll on them, they've had individually to also bear some burden in relieving the people, the communities that they represent of these hardships. So they've been calling on me to also come to their aid. It's not easy for any of us. Notwithstanding, I believe we may need to find some answers to some questions. And I guess the speaker is not yet here, but when the speaker comes, we'll have some discussions with him. And I believe it will be important for us to invite VRA to come and fully brief the House about what has happened, the repercussions, and how to avoid any future such events. Of course, you're looking at the integrity of the dam itself. Fancy the situation, this was not done. And the dam itself got breached. The impounded water, its effect stretches to as far as Yeji and beyond. And if all the impounded water is flowing out within, say, 1 week, can you fathom the devastation that it will cause the nation? Maybe about a quarter of this country will be gone. But we hope to God that it doesn't happen. However, what has happened has affected some people. How do we help to assist them and also to arrest any future such events? Which is why I'm saying that it will become important for us to invite the VRA to have some discussions with them on that.
Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu there. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studio at Adabaka in Accra. Still ahead, Parliament resumes proceedings for the third meeting of the third session after it went on break in August, and the presentation of the 2024 budget by the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, is key on the agenda. Stay with us. We have this and more coming up shortly.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Happy birthday to you.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Throughout all life-changing moments such as graduations, weddings, funerals, birthdays, ATL is there to ensure you're never out of style. When you think fabric, think ATL. Log on to atlfabrics.com. Order and buy your favorite ATL fabric. You can also visit our shop at number 40 Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, opposite the Swansea Shopping Arcade at Accra Central. Also available in leading fabric dealer shops in Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Parliament has resumed proceedings for the third meeting of the third session after it went on break in August. Key among the expectations for the session is the presentation of the 2024 budget by the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. The House would also be considering some bills currently before it. Here are some of the lawmakers sharing with journalists their expectations for the third meeting.
I think this is a meeting for the discussion and approval of the 2024 budget. I believe that will be the main agenda for this meeting, and we expect members to be in the House to debate, to scrutinize the estimates for both the approval of the economic policy of government, and also the appropriations bill. I believe it's going to contain a lot, especially with the elections coming up in 2024. The budget of the Electoral Commission will be a critical item because all the political parties, all the political actors will want to know the preparation of the Electoral Commission for the 2024 budget.
As a matter of fact, this meeting is going to be a very short meeting. And it is the last meeting of the third session of the Eve Parliament. So after this, we are left with the last session to dissolve the Parliament. That will be in 2024, expecting the new government to come in. So honestly speaking, the expectations are normal. It's going to be a budget meeting. Budget meeting, that is the meeting that the finance minister will be presenting the financial and economic policy of government on the 16th, hopefully, on the 16th of this month. And once the budget is presented, you know Christmas is also around the corner. So from today being 31st October, up to the whole of November, when the budget is presented around 16th, then by 21st, 22nd, 23rd, we should be approving the Appropriation Act and then going for the Christmas festivities. So basically, if anybody should expect anything from Parliament within this period, it can be nothing more than a budget. Our focus will be highly on the budget.
Those were some members of Parliament.
The OT region have arrested some persons in connection with Saturday's disturbance in Nkwanta, which led to several persons fleeing the community. The clash was as a result of a disagreement between the Adele, Chala and Akiode tribes over the performance of ritual rites related to the Akiode's 2023 annual Yam Festival. The incident resulted in several persons getting injured. A resident who wants to remain anonymous said although the situation is under control, there is heavy security presence in the area.
And the celebration was supposed to have been carried out by Achodis, and then the other tribes are in disagreement of the venue. So on the Saturday, there happened to be clashes between these tribes. So as it stands now, the festival could not be celebrated, and the situation was brought under control by the presence of the security. Actually, for the military has to come and then intervene. And then as we speak now, we can see the calm has somehow been restored. But then we are living in fear and panic because we don't know what will happen in the next minutes. So at the moment, everybody is being cautious, and then it has actually affected everything, including even economic activities. People have to close their shops because some shops were burned, some houses too have been vandalized as we speak. So there is tension in town. So, the police have done some arrests, but personally I haven't seen it, and I cannot confirm how many people have been arrested, but that is the rumor in town, that some people have been arrested in connection to the clashes.
That was a resident of Nkwanta in the OT region on the arrest of some persons in connection with a chieftaincy dispute in the area.
The Asokore Mampon District Court has denied a bail application for James Anoche, the alleged accomplice in the murder of 35-year-old businesswoman at Sokoban in the Ashanti region. During court proceedings, counsel for the accused prayed the court to grant the client bail, but the court denied the application, citing the fact that prosecution is still awaiting advice from the Attorney General's office. 35-year-old businesswoman Princess Efia Ahinkan was brutally murdered on Monday, September 11, 2023 at her residence in Apaso near Sokoban in the Ashanti region. The two suspects who appeared before the Asokore Mampon District Court today are to remain in prison custody. They are expected to reappear before the court on 14th November 2023, pending guidance from the Office of the Attorney General for committal proceedings to begin. ASP Stephen Ofori, the prosecutor, addressed the media after the court proceedings.
To be remanded back to custody. The Attorney General is assiduously working on docket, and in no time, committal process will be followed for the accused person to be committed to stand trial at the High Court. This is a murder case, and due processes must follow. So we are on course.
ASP Stephen Ofori is a police officer and is the prosecutor in the case of the 35-year-old businesswoman Princess Efia Ahinkan, who was brutally murdered on Monday, September 11. Right. Now, the Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Sam Nate George has served notice to President Akufo-Addo regarding the poor condition of roads in his constituency, particularly in Dawenya. He stated that he intends to obstruct the president's convoy whenever he uses that specific stretch of road in order for him to experience firsthand the deteriorated state of the roads in the Ningo Pram constituency. Now, Sam Nate George is frustrated and he says his pleas for road improvements have gone unnoticed. He joins us live on the Citi Prime News with more. Hello, Honorable Sam George. Good afternoon. Isn't this quite an unorthodox way to get attention for the bad roads in your constituency?
Good afternoon, Caleb, and good afternoon to your listeners. Difficult times call for tough decisions, and the president's inaction and the inaction of his appointees have led me to this conclusion that the only way we would get a solution to what is a debt trap. And you see, people just need to be clear. I've come to the conclusion in my mind that the Akufo-Addo government will not fix the Afenya-Dawenya road or any of the other roads because they think that Sam George and Ningo Pram are NDC. And I mean, you know this from the way the president spoke to the people of Mepe. For him, if you don't vote for him, you won't get anything. Because for 7 years, I've begged, I've written letters, and I don't even see why I should beg the president who we pay with our salary, with our taxes, and the Minister of Roads who we pay with our taxes to do the job that we pay them for. I've gone to beg them. I have brought the Minister to Parliament, asked questions. There is nothing else I can do. I've reached the wit's end. But what is breaking the camel's back is not even the road. It's a daily bridge on the road. And you just need to see what the state of the bridge is. If you don't know that bridge and you use it at night, you will die. And the president and his minister for roads are sitting in the air-conditioned cars and offices we pay for and are waiting for somebody to die, one of my constituents to die. Then they'll come in with sirens and come and shed crocodile tears and fix the bridge. For 6 months, I have been begging. People I shouldn't beg. I have been begging them to just fix the bridge. That is their job. The bridge has holes. The bridge has failed structurally. School children use it. Mothers use it. People use it every day. And we are waiting for a disaster to happen before we fix it. We can't continue to beg. And after all, when the president was campaigning in 2016 and begging for power, and when he was seeking re-election in 2020, when he's driving through communities and he sees crowds, he stops to campaign, to get votes. So the same today, president, except the people of us, but we will stop him and ask him what he's going to do about that bridge.
Right.
And that's notice I've said. I know right now he hardly drives on the road again because of how bad the roads are. He uses a helicopter everywhere he's going. But we will stop him.
But isn't the dualization of the Aflao-Tema, Aflao-Akosombo stretch supposed to take care of this?
No, this is an off-channel. This links the Aflao-Tema and Akosombo-Tema roads. So this road is the economic linkage between both roads. So it sits between Afenya and Dawenya. But even the Aflao-Tema road, which is a 17-kilometer contract that was awarded in 2019, UK government loan, about £94 million. That road has stalled since November last year, since the Akufo-Addo government defaulted on its payment of foreign loans, since the government declared bankruptcy. The UK government has stopped the disbursement of that facility. And so the local contractors, First Sky, have literally stopped working on that road since March of this year. And so that road has stalled. In fact, it's made life unbearable for my constituents. We were managing our single lane before, and now the construction has made it even worse. The other road, which is from Tema to Akosombo, was awarded to another company called Inzag Ghana Limited, a German company. The president came there to cut short in 2020 when he was going into the election and promised that the road would be completed in 18 months. Since the start was cut in December, sometime in October 2020, up till now, not one strip of sand has been put on that road from Tema to Akosombo. So you have a president who's only interested in cutting short and driving in a long convoy of over 50 cars fueled by us, but won't fix the road. So and we just need, look, I say, don't fix, I know you won't fix the road, but that bridge must be fixed.
All right. Many thanks to you, Samuel Nete George, and all the best to you in your quest to stop the president's convoy, to draw his attention to the poor condition of roads and bridges in your constituency. That was Sam Nete George. He is Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram.
Let's do some more stories now. The New Jabin South Municipal Chief Executive Isaac Apaujesi has refuted claims that members of the New Patriotic Party in his constituency are behind recent rail track theft cases in the Eastern region. The Communications Bureau of the National Democratic Congress at a press conference on Monday showed video footages of constituency officers of the NPP and the police allegedly cutting abandoned rail tracks in 7 constituencies, including the New Jabin South constituency. Reacting to these claims, Mr. Apaujesi indicated that he personally saw the prosecution of persons arrested in connection with the stealing.
I, Honorable Isaac Apaujesi, got a wind of some thieves that had gone to Kenten Crane rail line to steal some. When I was given the information, called the BNI, called the police commander, Commandant Cancer. He's still alive, he's still at post, and made sure we arrested the perpetrators, sent them to court, and they have been incarcerated. So what are they talking about? This is a chief executive who will make sure that he follows up when some wrong is being done. For me, I don't entertain that at all. So if it is going on somewhere that people are not monitoring and they are not following up, for me, you can't come and do that in my municipality. I will make sure you get arrested and prosecuted. The evidence is there. The evidence is there. So for me, we will continue to be vigilant, and if we grab you, we will take you to the appropriate judicial bodies for the law to take its course.
Mr. Apaujesi also indicated that the Municipal Security Council will not shield any individual arrested for stealing the rail tracks.
No member here in New Jabin South, that's Koforidua, nobody can come with any iota of truth that a known MPP member connively, with the support of party people, have gone to do such a thing. Not under my leadership. When you are caught, you'll be prosecuted. And I will not allow anybody to interfere. Nobody will do that here under my leadership.
You heard the New Jabin South Municipal Chief Executive Isaac Apaujesi.
And that's it for the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios at Adabaka in Accra. For more news, please log on to citinewsroom.com. My name is Caleb Kuda.
And my name is Ajwa Tinkrama Domina.
Up next is the afternoon's edition of the Citi Business News with David Nee Latte. Stay tuned.
Citi 97.3. More variety. Citi 97.3. Accra. Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
At 1 o'clock, welcome to the afternoon's edition of Citi Business News with me, Nee Latte. Coming up, as government prepares to present the 2024 budget statement, calls by business community for review of taxes intensify. Also, traders urge to desist from overpricing their goods and services to cushion consumers as economy shows signs of recovery. Many thanks for joining us this afternoon. Let's settle for the details now. First off, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is reiterating calls for a comprehensive review of nuisance taxes ahead of the 2024 budget statement and economic policy by the government. According to a 2024 pre-budget survey by auditing and accounting firm KPMG and the United Nations Development Programme, Several taxes, including the e-levy, COVID-19 levy, import tariffs, petroleum levy, and growth and sustainability levy, are suffocating businesses. The business community has also strongly opposed the high tax regime in the country, which they insist is stifling industries and rendering them uncompetitive. In an interview with Citi Business News, President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obin, said it is imperative for the government to reduce the tax burden to alleviate the burdens faced by businesses.
As we've already engaged with the government and told government to tone down on the taxes, especially even with the structure of the VAT, we are expecting that government should reduce these taxes. And we specifically called on the COVID-19 levy, which have outlived its usefulness, and that of the special import levies that also have to go, because now the nuisance taxes are creeping back in folds and in other forms, which is not good for the growth of businesses. This is exactly what all the business communities have articulated during our meeting with the finance minister, that our problem is tax,